Hey, I'm so excited in this month of June with our foundations, just to show you some of the plans that we have for bringing our services together and start to enhance our internal fellowship as a church. Just over here, you can see our Unit 4, where we currently have Red Room and our ministry centre. So that entrance that you see there at the moment, that's going to be closed up. That's going to be used as a store area. And that second roller door that you see just over there, that's going to be our new main entrance into the building. So come with me and we're going to have a look around and see what this is going to look like. So here in Unit 3, this area that we're standing in right now is going to be like a central hub for the community life of the church. Just here, this is where our front entrance will be, and this will be the main entrance into the building. And to its side, in these two areas here, then we'll have our doorways into the auditorium, which will be just on the other side. Down along here, we're going to have a wall that comes through here. Over there, that wall opens up right up, and so there'll be a big entrance area and a bit like just a foyer. We can do all sorts of things like reception as people come in. There'll just be a nice, beautiful entrance up to the offices if they come midweek. In this area here, you'll sign your kids in to here, and it'll be all child safe, and it's going to be just fantastic, and it'll be a great space for our kids. That room over there, that's going. We're going to build a tiny little stage, and underneath that, inside of it, hopefully, the plans at the moment is to have our baptismal in there. So that's going to be really exciting too. One of the things that's been hard for the architects is to make sure that every space in this building is able to be used for multifunction. And so there's not going to be one space, there's purely going to be one thing. So that's going to be like a really a great opportunity for us to be able to use this place midweek for classes, for whatever God opens up for us. So if I bring you into this area here, currently there's a couple of spaces just here, and we're looking at the moment that on a Sunday morning we would have our Bubs and Juniors, and so this whole wing here basically will all be about children's ministry, be nice and safe, but of course each room can be used for something else midweek, and so come down through here. So all of our staff, our administration, what happens, for keeping everything running and our ministries functional, that will all basically happen up here. But of course, next door opens up into this space as well. And so the main entrance will actually be over in that direction just there. There'll be the lift that will be over in there as well. Over in our current area, there'll be good meeting areas, our boardroom and things like that. So most of you are familiar with, this is what we call the dock, where we do our Sunday night services. So effectively what we're going to do in this particular space is that wall over there, that is going to go back quite a distance into what we used to call the Red Room. And so if you can imagine that wall going back and effectively making this area here double the size. So we'll be able to put out, we've put on our DA application for 250 seats, but obviously we can put a lot more than that in. So it's going to be so great to be here together as a church, the same place that we do Sunday night, Sunday morning. It's going to be so much more effective as a church. Just over in this area here, this is where we're going to have a lift. So part of the obligations of us in having a worship centre here, rather than a ministry centre, is that council are requiring us to have an elevator. So there's going to be an elevator just sitting over there. Come into the Red Room. Now, as I said, that wall was going to come back this way. So the wall will effectively come to these first set of pillars here. Big glass windows here, seats around here, mums with bubs, dads with bubs who just need to come out here and be with their child and settle them down. They'll be able to be here, still engaged with the service, but you know, being able to be a bit more quieter as far as the auditorium's concerned. By the end of the Sunday morning service, our primary age kids will come into this area. This will be where they'll have their morning tea, and so parents will be able to pick up their kids from this particular area here. And so that's going to be a big change for this little spot. It's going to be a great one. This area here is our current kitchen, and this will be part of a big foyer entranceway from the main entrance to the building, which will be from Unit 3. The kitchen itself is going to be this back area here. We're typically around about twice the size of our current kitchen. So I know that there are some people who are really looking forward to how that's all going to work. And that's going to be a great change for us and help us to do our internal community just so much better. So imagine coming along to this space Sunday morning. Imagine being able to gather in this place afterwards, be able to have fellowship with each other, for new people to be able to easily meet up with others of us, to be able to, get to know other people better. While at the same time, just next door in the auditorium area, if prayer needs to continue happening, then that can happen. If worship needs to keep going on, then it just means that the whole constraints on us are going to be so much different. As far as the community is concerned, then suddenly everything is in this place. And whenever they think of Community Church Hornsby, CCH, which many people are aware of us, they'll think of this place. And so then suddenly it becomes a better vehicle for them to be able to, to reach out if they're in need, having problems, difficulties, to know exactly this is the place where CCH people meet all the time. This is the place where doors will always be open and that they'll always be able to find us. Of course, it doesn't just happen. There's going to be a lot of work that's taking place. It's not going to be cheap, and we're just trying to balance the scales between doing things really, really, really well and trying to not spend all of our dollars, because we do need to set ourselves up for the future. So there's a juggling act for us. We want it to be excellent and serviceable. We want it to be able to be used so that when people come, it's just like, yes, this is our next camp. This is our home. And yet at the same time, setting ourselves up for the future and for our children and our children's children, and going on into the future. So on June 24, that's when we take up our 12-month Foundations Pledge. That's when we take up our splash offering, and I'm really, really looking forward to see what God is going to do when we come into this place, and how He's going to better facilitate the spread of His gospel in our community and around Australia. So bless you, church. It's been fun coming down and meeting with you here in this, our new space.